Hey everybody, Gary Logan here from PerceptionControls.com. Now, being that we do a lot of Title 24 acceptance testing, I'm constantly being asked about these NRCI forms. Specifically, what are they? Do we need them? Where can I find them? And how do I fill them out? Now, I know quite a bit of information about these forms, and most of it you don't need to know. So if you want a more detailed description, hit me up in the comments below. But this video is really for my fellow electricians out in the field, probably looking this up on their smartphone. So let's jump right in. So what are they? Well, the NRCI forms are basically just a series of forms that explain what you've installed on any given project. Now, more specifically for LTI 02E, it is to describe a lighting control system that you installed. Now, you may say, well, I didn't install a lighting control system, just installed a couple of sensors here and there. And if you've installed a line voltage wall-mounted occupancy sensor, then yes, that's just a standalone device and this form doesn't need to be filled out. However, if you've installed a ceiling occupancy sensor with, say, a power pack to run it, then that constitutes a lighting control system. Remember, any two or more devices working in tandem is considered a lighting control system. Whether it's something this simple or something this complicated, they're both considered lighting control systems, and this form needs to be filled out. So the NRCI LTI 02E is required to be turned in to an acceptance technician or a city inspector when going for final inspection. All right, secondly, where can I find them? Well, because all these numbers and letters are repeated over and over on all the California Energy Commission's forms and only differ by either one number or one letter, it makes it difficult to do a web search for them because the browsers have a tendency to autocorrect you to the most popular forms. So my best answer is to go to our website, and we have the latest revision of all of the NRCI forms available for free download. I'll go ahead and leave a link right here to our website, or you can look us up in the description below. Okay, thirdly, how do we fill it out? Well, first thing we want to talk about is the top section here is the same on every page. The nice thing about the forms that you can download on our website is that if you change something here, it will show up on every page below. Makes it nice. You only have to fill out the top of one page, not all six. Get rid of that. Okay, let's use this little fictitious sample that I made here. The project name is going to be the name that's on the plans. In this case, Uncle Al's Barbecue and Taxidermy. Tasty. The enforcement agency is going to be the city of whatever city you're working in. The permit number goes here. Important to note, if it's a building permit, it goes here, but if it's separate permits for each trade, in this case an electrical permit, you want to go with the electrical permit, not the building permit. Project address across the bottom is pretty self-explanatory. Now, before we get into the general information, let's take a second to kind of draw a little scenario of what project we're actually working on. So we're going to imagine that Uncle Al's is a 3,500 square foot office space, and in that space we have an open reception area that contains an occupancy sensor, multi-level controls, also known as dimmers, and it also contains daylight harvesting. We've got 3 private offices under 250 square feet with occupancy, dimming, and also controlled receptacles. We've got a break room with OC and dim, and also a restroom with occupancy sensors and dimmers. And we do not have any time switches, nor is there a demand response system. So those are the parameters that we're going to kind of work within as we fill out the rest of this form, and I think it'll help you understand why we're checking the boxes that we're checking. So first section here is the date of the building permit, so basically the date that this permit was issued, also repeated here. And Uncle Al's is a non-residential, and it was an alteration, meaning that it was an existing building and we're doing a tenant improvement to it. So, but if your project's new construction or addition, you can check off one of those boxes. Certificate of compliance date. This trips some people up because they're not sure what a certificate of compliance is. Well, you guys are probably familiar with all those little squares that are on your set of plans that most of us don't know what they mean. These are NRCC forms, or Certificates of Compliance. And these are approved on the day your plans are approved. So the date your plans are approved goes here. It's that simple. All right, part 1, what type of lighting control system installed? The first box here is Energy Management Control System, but that just means that the HVAC is connected to your lighting control system. That's not the case here at Uncle Al's, so we'll skip down to Lighting Control System. Check that off. Check the next box saying that the system complies with all the requirements below. Lighting Control System has all of these attributes. If your lighting control system doesn't have one of these attributes, don't check the box. We get down here to automatic time switch controls. Well, as we mentioned, none of the rooms are controlled by automatic time switch, so we won't check any of these boxes off. We get down here to F, and yes, we do have daylighting controls, so we'll check that box. And our daylighting control system is capable of doing all of these things. Basically, if you bought the parts in California, chances are you're good to go on all of these attributes here. The controls meet Title 20 appliance efficiency regulations, so on and so forth. G, the lighting control functions as a dimmer. As we mentioned, we have dimmers or multi-level controls in all of the rooms, so we can check off G. We have on-off controls, also known as occupancy sensors, so we'll check off H. And they're capable of turning the lights off in 20 minutes. This is a typo. It is no longer 30 minutes in the state of California, but I'm sure the Energy Commission will take care of that shortly. Our occupancy sensing controls, again, follow Title 20, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Here on B, somehow motion sensors got put onto this form. And we know that motion sensors are essentially the outdoor equivalent of occupancy sensors. And being that this is an indoor form, they shouldn't be here. So we'll just wait for the CEC to remove these on the next revision. And for now, we'll just leave this one blank. We do not have vacancy sensors, or partial ons, or partial offs. And we do have controls that come auto on the first phase, and the second phase has to be turned on manually. Then down here, it just basically says, these are the code requirements that are satisfied in the controls that I installed. All of these sections are out of the Building Energy Efficiency Standards, also known as the Bs. I'll also leave a link here to these sections on our website that you can go through, just in case you're not familiar with them. But we do have area controls, which just means there's lighting switches in the room. Those are multi-level controls, meaning they have dimmers on them. Shut-off controls, again, these are occupancy controls, but can also be automatic time switch controls. We do have daylight harvesting controls. We do not have demand response because our space is under 10,000 square feet. And we do have controlled receptacles, so we'll check off all of those. We did not do anything that qualifies for power adjustment factor. That's kind of another video on its own. And then this last page here, it's got two sections, the document's author's declaration statement and the responsible person's declaration statement. And as you can see, they're pretty similar. This could be like a project manager or a foreman or even a secretary, and this may be the owner of the company or a project manager or a foreman. It can be the same person, and often it is. But we basically just fill out your name here, company name, address, signature, date signed. If you happen to be a certified energy auditor, your number would go here, and phone number. Next section below, very similar, name, company, so on and so forth, signature, title with company, so project manager, owner, foreman, your contractor's license number here, phone number, and date signed. And that's it. If there's something else you'd like to see, leave me a comment below and I'll get right back to you. If you found this info useful, please give it a thumbs up at the bottom of the page so we can make sure other electricians can find it easily. And of course, subscribe so you can be informed about other helpful videos as we upload them. Thanks for watching.